Hello, this is Joe. Another quick tip here. If you look on some of your slide outs, like this is our slide out from the kitchen. So this has the stove and refrigerator sitting in it, as well as our TV entertainment center. So if you look underneath your slide here on that, you'll see some black cables coming up through here. That's gonna be like your power and electricity, and then we also have a gas line here, which is this black hose here for the propane for the stove. So with that, I was looking where the hole is that these cables go through. They try to caulk that pretty good, but on the inside I was actually feeling a draft in that area, so I pulled out. In this case it would have been underneath the TV, so it's behind the fireplace. Pulled the fireplace out, and the hole in the floor where all these cables come through was just an open hole, like a probably about a 2-inch hole in the floor where all these cables come through, and they just caulk the outside like this. So what I ended up doing is doing some caulk on the inside, coming from the top down, and caulked and filled that hole to try to stop that draft. And I mean, you can tell the difference right away. As soon as you get that full of caulk, you don't feel any air or anything passing through, especially as it's cooler outside. When I'm filming this is in the fall. Otherwise, I did notice also on the outside, it had been raining, and we had some rain coming down the slide here, and then it hits this little trim piece, and then it follows it down, and then this trim piece here that the rollers ride on for the slide to come in and out, so it doesn't damage the laminate wood that's on the bottom of the slide. This was hanging down, so the water would roll down here and then roll back and then hit these cables, and it was going inside of this black tubing, which, as you can see, there is a slit here, and the water was running down and filling up here and then draining out somewhere farther down where it opens up. So what I ended up doing is trying to pull, so I pushed the caulk that was already here, push that over, and then try to push this black trim piece that follows the whole bottom here. Let me see, maybe a better angle. Follows this whole bottom track here. Pushed that back up and tucked it over in there as tight as I could. And then I ended up running some a couple of screws. So same black screws as what the rest of the camper uses from other projects. I ended up just bagging up the screws and reusing them. So that's what I did, is I pushed up. Once I got it tight, then I just popped in 2 screws to pull it tight. So that way when the water runs down here, instead of it running back and then going all over our power and cables, it should just run down now and just drip, because now it's a flat drop off instead of a nice angle for the water to follow and continue down some cables. So yeah, so I just wanted to give that as a quick tip here. I can show you also on the other side of the same slide. Got the same kind of setup here. This one wasn't as bad with the angle. So the water was coming down, running back, and then hitting this tube framing, and then dripping down, bouncing off this little ledge and then onto the ground. But I did the same thing, as I tried to pull as tight as I could, and then I ran the screw in here to try to tighten it up, because it should be pretty flat. As I can see, I could probably actually run another one in here to try to make this more flat, because this should be flat all the way, because when the slide comes in, it runs on this to kind of hold it in place, because you've got the gearboxes back in here that brings the slide in and out with hydraulics. Or no, this one's not hydraulic, excuse me. This is just gearbox. So this brings it in on these 2 rails, but then there's some wheels that are inside the trailer here that this rides on to keep it a smooth roll. So those just might have to be adjusted, especially with water, because obviously water and campers, those don't mix well. So good way to keep the water out. Make sure that these are up tight against your slide boxes. And then after you got that done, to make sure that all the tracks here, these trim pieces are on, that this is all caulked. This is the original caulking, which is just a clear silicone based caulk. Came from the manufacturer. I mean, they pretty much use that stuff on every single trim piece everywhere. I have re-caulked some of this already. We've only had this trailer for 6 months. So just as the temperature changes, things shifted around, you'll want to check on any caulk seams and make sure those are all good. Always, they say about once a year, check all your caulking, and then make sure that they're all good, and then caulk any spots that have gaps or that have opened up, and that'll keep the water intrusion from coming in. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.